everybody, it's me, the infamous Kiki. Welcome to my channel. If you have never been here before, like, subscribe, share, comment. And what do I do here? I do any kind of topics. I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness. I was a Jehovah's Witness for a little over 10 years. You can watch some of my other videos. I tell stories. I offer opinions on there's documentaries, there's videos. I was a Jehovah's Witness apologist for a long time, even though I've been out of it for 20 years. And up until last year, with the advent of the pandemic, of course, I had plenty of time on my hands and stumbled across a Netflix documentary and got the shock of my life because I had no idea about child abuse scandals, about any of this stuff. And I'm still in the process of learning, and I am no longer a Jehovah's Witness apologist. I used to say nothing but good things. People said you were part of a cult. I'd be like, of course not. I'm never part of a cult. What are you talking about? Jehovah's Witness is not a cult. You lost your mind. Catholics are cults. These other people are cults. Muslims are cults. Like all of this stuff. Like I even though I am an atheist. I'm not a believer. But for the longest time, I thought if there was a God's religion, then it would. If there was a God and there was a God's religion, I thought seriously that it would be Jehovah's Witness. So that's a little bit about me. Watch some of my videos, you'll know more. And I left a long time ago. I left over 20 years ago. Of course, things have changed a lot since then. So this video, we're going to discuss the Crusaders documentary. I know I'm late. If you watch my other video, I talk about what's been going on in the past August, why I have not posted videos. My dad passed away. I had no internet for 2.5 weeks. I had no AC. I'm in Texas. My kids went back to school. Like all these things all hit me at once. So now I'm back. I got AC. I got my mind right. And I'm working hard and putting out videos for you fine, lovely people. Thank you to all my subscribers. I also run 3 Etsy shops. So if you really would like to support the channel and support me and what I do, and I like to talk, I like to give the gift of gab. But once I get to 500 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to let you pick anything you want to out of my 3 shops. I might even custom make something for you. I'm also an artist. If you don't know, recently I won an award in the great city of Grand Prairie, Texas. I won the Digital Artist Award of the Year. So yeah, I've been interviewed by different magazines. I've been on covers of magazines. No, I'm not famous, but once I started listening to other people's YouTube channels, I decided to come out of the ex-JW closet and start telling my stories a little bit, and shocked that people were interested or had the same experiences I did. I came into the Jehovah's Witness on my own. I was not born into it. I didn't have a parent in it. I had no family in it at the age of 13. So I came wholeheartedly, voluntarily at the tender age of 13, and I studied. I got my grandmother to study, but she was never really into it, and I was dedicated, hardcore, baptized in Texas, and all the way through my teen years. I left a little bit and came back during my young adult years, and then eventually ended up leaving. So if you want to know more, there's videos you can look through. I have a whole playlist with just JW stuff. What we're going to talk about today is the Crusader documentary on Vice. If you have not watched this documentary, I suggest you really watch it. I love the JW documentaries because they're so fascinating. I like hearing about other people's stories. That's the reason why I watch channels like ex-JW Critical Thinker, Lloyd Evans. If you have not gone to these channels, please do. JW Thoughts. I'm an ex-JW fangirl junkie, so I'm just fascinated by people's stories, period, JW or not. But because I've lived the life, it's just always fascinating to me to hear what other people have experienced that may be a lot different than what I experienced, because my experience is unique, being that the fact that I wasn't born in and I came in at such an early age. So the Vice documentary is called Crusaders, and for ex-JWs. I'll leave links. You can watch it for free on Vice's YouTube channel, but I'll leave links below if you just want to click on it and find it and go watch it, and then come back and watch my video. Just watch it and then come back, okay? Because I'm going to give my thoughts and what I learned. This video is basically interviewing several ex-JWs who were victims of child abuse, and their stories. They have Mark O'Donnell in there and his wife Kelly, which I've seen Mark O'Donnell online in interviews on Lloyd Evans' show. He was a former Jehovah's Witness, former elder, and I think he was a former elder, and his wife, and they were both born into it. And it just goes to tell their story. Like I said, I'm not going to do this video for too long. I'm just going to give like an overview and some of the points that I picked up. The stories that people told about being abused and then confronting elders and confronting abusers, getting court records. This documentary goes into to that. And I found Kelly O'Donnell's story. I was speechless. Like, I mean, the fact that her mother would kill cats in front of her, starve her and her brothers, lock them in a room for long periods of time, and this person is still a witness. This person is still at a kingdom hall, coming to a door near you, the cat killer. I mean, you know, I ain't trying to be funny, I ain't trying to hate on nobody, nothing like that, but that story was terrible. I mean, that story was terrible. Starving your children, and then she went to the elders for help at the age of 12, and they were like, go back home, honor your father and mother. What? Like, what? Like, they killed me. They killed me. I couldn't imagine being in that situation and feeling so hopeless and helpless. So what is my main comments on all of this? I just want to know why. I understand they're talking about the organization they want to avoid lawsuits. Every organization, no organization wants to get sued. They don't want to lose money. Jehovah's Witnesses are funded by donations and investments. So I get that. Then they're talking about don't want to put reproach on Jehovah's name. I've heard this over and over and over again. So I'm asking, what exactly does that mean? Bringing reproach on Jehovah. So making the organization look bad, making Jehovah him as a Christian deity look bad. No one's really explained to me what that means. Because Jehovah's Witnesses fundamentally don't care what worldly people think. They don't care. Worldly people are of Satan the devil. So they don't care what the authorities think, what the courts think, what these investigative entities think. So it bring reproach on Jehovah's name. Who? I mean, who's that hurting? So it can't be the outside world. It can't be non-Jehovah's Witness people, okay? I mean, a little bit of that, because you're trying to get converts, and putting bad things in news does make them look bad, so people don't want to convert. I get that. But then if you're talking about putting reproach on Jehovah's name inside the organization, then my question is, if that is your concern, that you're making the organization look bad, and then people are going to start questioning their faith, or leaving the faith, what is going to make people leave more? Being abused and not heard, and being dealt with dirty, and then they leave, or because their kids or family members are abused and the elders didn't listen to them, and then they leave. What I'm having a hard time with the whole thing, y'all. I'm sorry. I've questioned this before, and I feel passionate about this. Whoever is in the PR department, the media department, I really hope you listening to poor Kiki. But who am I? I'm just one person. I'm just an ex-JW, which y'all call an apostate or whatever. I am not trying to make anybody change their religion. I am not a Jehovah's Witness activist. There are things that the organization watch. I have nothing against Jehovah's Witnesses. There are things that the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society has done that I find questionable. But then I find questionable things in all religion as somebody who's not a believer. But as a business person, as a person who's worked for companies and businesses, okay, my question is, all of this could have been avoided. When they had Barbara on there, if you see the video, Barbara Harmon, she used to work, she was really high up. She worked at Bethel. She worked in the records. She worked in I think the records department or writing department or committee or something like that. She was pretty high up for a woman. And they published a Watchtower article back in 1997. I remember that article about child abuse and scriptures and child abuse. it was an Awake article. Apparently, letters started pouring in from people becoming abused. And so she went to the governing body. She wrote letters saying, we have to do something about this. And the reason why she left is because nothing was really done. They had the legal committee handle it. They sent out a letter to all the elders. Elders is those who run the Jehovah's Witness congregations, the Jehovah's Witness churches, and sent them saying that basically you have to, all the instances of abuse, round it up, file it, put it in a blue envelope, and send it in to us. So they're trying to cover their bases legally. Okay, I'm with you, fam. I'm with you. Great. Okay. Yes, you have to cover yourself legally. I'm not salty about that. Not salty. I'm just like, okay, do your thing. So once the letters start coming in from elders and you're starting to see, okay, this is a lot. This is a lot. I'm sure they got a lot of response and a lot of letters. Once the things started coming in, I don't understand. Can somebody please explain to my little brain? Instead of paying off people and mitigating lawsuits and paying out settlements and these mega settlements, they call them mega settlements. They paying out millions. The negative press, the things, the inquisitions, the commissions, the stupid 2-witness rule where you have to have 2 witnesses has to witness something, and then it, if the 2 people didn't witness it, it was basically not true. And then you put in the elders book of how the questionnaires you're supposed to ask. All my question is why? Why do all of that? Why do all of that when it could be just this simple? A lot of people probably wouldn't sue if somebody went to the elder and said, I've been abused or something happened. If a lot of these people would have went to the elders and they would have sat these people down and been like, okay, call the police. Okay, we're going to report you to CPS. They didn't even have to tell the person that. They can anonymously report the person or report the person to the laws of CPS. You don't have to tell the people your name. That's all you had to do. Tell the victim you need to contact the laws, what is happening, how long ago did this happen. Ask some questions like that just to ascertain what's going on. Tell the person who is the perpetrator or who's the accused, look, your privileges are suspended, or don't come to the Kingdom Hall for a while until we get all this substance sorted out. And by the way, keep things confidential, because again, Jehovah's Witnesses are good at keeping everything else confidential. They can disfellowship you, reprove you, all of this stuff, and keep it hush hush and on the down low. But then if you abuse a child, somehow that's bringing reproach on Jehovah, sometimes it's going to get out. Well, you stop that. You just tell people, okay, you keep it confidential. Yeah, things are going to leak. People are going to talk. Rumors are going to get spread. People do that now. Talking about reproach coming on Jehovah's name, it's coming on Jehovah's name right now. So my point is, 2002. If you don't want to do nothing in 1997, 2002 come along. If the governing body or committee or legal would have sat around and said, you know what, we're going to have a huge problem. More people are going to come out. Now, the statute of limitations are different for every country and every state. I get it. But we don't want to be wrapped up in lawsuits forever. Because so you nip it in the bud. You send a message out to all the congregations worldwide and say, look, if you got known abusers in your congregation, we need to weed these people out. We need to get these people out. Because this is going to cause long-term damage in the long run for our organization. And that is going to bring reproach on Jehovah's name. But you spend time and money and fines covering it up. Is that logical to anybody? Does that sound logical to you? Because to me, as a logical thinking person who's worked in corporate America, I've been in HR. I never in my life do we have a problem, because things happen in every organization. You got bad apples. I've worked in major companies where there's sexual harassment. You cut the head off. Okay, this person, these 3 people complain. We bring them to arbitration. We talk to them. What's going on? You tell me your story. You tell me your story. Okay, well, your story really doesn't add up. There's nothing criminal, but you're sexual harassing. It's against our policy. You're fired. Why? We don't be like, well, y'all go back to work. It's cool. It's cool. Y'all, you okay? Okay, he didn't touch your butt or nothing. Okay, you go back to work. Sit across from the table at that finance meeting from the dude that keeps making these jokes. Go ahead, because we're not trying to bring reproach on said company. That's not how you stave off lawsuits and doesn't make your company look bad. You cut it off at the head. You cut it off. One person or two people or 1,000 people should not bring down your whole organization, especially if you're a damn religion. I don't understand. To me, there's something more, and I don't want to get into conspiracy theories or something, but logically, even biblically, this makes no sense. There's nothing really in the Bible that refers or talks explicitly about child abuse. There's nothing there. So, I mean, like Jehovah's Witnesses, okay, so y'all out there, ex-witnesses, what did Jehovah's Witnesses do when they need to change some doctrine? Come on, y'all, what happened? Oh, new light. Oh, we had new light. New light hit me in the face. Just new light all over me. New light. We've got a revelation. God has spoken to us and said that whole generation thing, it could be several generations, multi-generations, this generation, new generation, Pepsi generation, whatever. We're changing that. 144,000, anointed remnant, we're kind of changing our, blood platelets. Oh, the Bible specifically says about blood. Well, we're allowing you to have some blood platelets because we've gotten a revelation, new light. So you mean to tell me they can't new light child abuse? New light that shit, Watchtower. New light it. We've had revelation. Come together. God has told us we need to protect the children. We need to, what? Who in the organization is going to give pushback on that, trying to protect children? As a parent, what right person in their mind, even if they don't say it out loud, as a Jehovah's Witness, what person is going to be like, I don't disagree with that? And even if you do disagree, as a Jehovah's Witness, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. You're going to go along with what the governing body tells you. So they can't get together and post an article or put something out to the congregation saying, okay, we're not tolerating this anymore. If you abuse a child, whether it be sexually, physically, if you got to go. We're not going to be judge, jury, and executioner. We're going to pass it on to the courts and let them handle it. And you got to go. You got to leave the congregation. You got to go. Homie, sorry, got to go. Don't come back. It ain't 6-7 months from now, oh, you're healed. And no, you're gone. You gone. Because we want to protect the children. So I ask the people out there, for the people out there who have been hurt and abused by people inside this organization, if somebody would have did you right and not did you dirty, would you still be a Jehovah's Witness? Would you? I promise you that a large majority of you would. If somebody wouldn't have did your kid dirty, if you would have went to the elders and they'd be like, we're going to get them some counseling. We got your back. What do you need? If they would have offered help, not 2 witness ruled your ass, not I'm going to put you in a room with 3 dudes and you 12 years old and you got to tell in detail about some lady or some man molesting you. If they would have had your parents sitting next to you, they would have brought you in a meeting and they would have said, who are you accusing? Why? What happened? This person needs to be weeded out. We're here to protect the children. Would you still be in the organization? And I promise you, a lot of people would say yes. So you're losing people out of the organization because they don't want to be preyed upon, or they're so screwed up in their head, they're so upset that they're done with religion or done with the Watchtower. So you rather risk those people go than to keep some child abuser in your congregation. You rather pay out millions of dollars than to weed these people out. Make it make sense to me. Please, somebody make it make sense. I don't understand it. And then my last point is about this. If you're trying to get people to come to your organization, walk with me now. Because I'm fixing to blow your mind. Okay, so let's just say you have a sister or a brother who were molested as a child. The elders came in there and it saved them, or they were abused as a kid. The elders helped them out. The elders supported them and their family and their familial needs. Because again, as a Christian, isn't that what you're supposed to do as a God ordained organization? So what if they came in and felt like, you know what, this is really God's organization? What a better testimony at the door than that. Most people that you meet are parents. A lot of people out there have been abused as children. A lot of people out there have lost their religion in different religions, evangelical religions, Catholic religions, because they were either molested, somebody they know were abused or molested, maybe their parent was, and they're like, you know what, I'm done with religion. You knock on the door, and you have your little article, Watchtower article, or Wake saying you have your laptop or your iPad. I don't know what y'all doing today. The way iPad, and you're reading to them, and you're like, look, Jehovah's organization, we're God's organization, because I was hurt as a child. I was molested. I was abused. And our organization handled it. We're not like the Catholics. We're not like the evangelicals. We protect our children because that's what God's organization is supposed to do. Would you like a Bible study? That person may be like, they different. I was hurt as a kid. I was abused as a child. I was in the church and this preacher took advantage of me. They saying that, you're saying your organization protects children? Oh, they do all that? Or they helped you? Well, I might listen a little bit. I might even do a Bible study. What better testimony as a Christian, showing that this is God's organization, by getting through to people, bringing up how this is God's organization because they protect the children. How simple is that? What a wonderful thing it would be to put a public notice out saying we have changed our ways and we are doing this now. You will stop litigation. Well, who's going to sue the organization for what? If they've done what they're supposed to do legally, there's no legal recourse. And again, to me, that's good PR. That's you sending people will stay in the organization if you wouldn't do them dirty. Who wouldn't like to say that and say that to people and have that testimony out there while you're witnessing people? I know they don't go to door to door because of COVID or whatever like that. But I'm just saying that. What a better way to witness and bring people in? Through children. Because people want their children to be safe. Even if you don't have kids, you understand that kids need to be protected and to be safe. And if there is an organization out there that is religious, that is telling you that we're different, we're God, we really are Jehovah's God's organization, because we protect children. We don't let abusers stay in our organization. If somebody's being abused, we have protocols set up to get them some help. What would be a better God-given testimony than that? You would probably even win some people back who left. Like, how dumb can you be? Like, what? And then on top of that, get people real counseling. To me, a God-given organization, I don't even believe in God, but to me, a divine God-given organization, leaders in the organization are supposed to be there to help the people. Give the sisters something to do. You know what you could do, what I thought of, I'm not trying to give Jehovah's Witnesses any props, but give the sisters something to do. They don't have to have leadership in the congregation or nothing. You set up a training course, a Bible-based, Jehovah's Witness-based counseling training course. There are training courses out there that you can adapt, that churches have adopted and adapted and made them spiritual and tweaked and made them their own, where people can get certified to counsel people. Certified to counsel people in a way that follows your religion. And then make it to the point where these kids or these adults or whoever are saying they're being abused, they have an outlet. They have someone to talk to. Give the sisters something to do. You could train sisters to just listen, to counsel, to help, and then pass it off to an elder. When it becomes too much, it becomes too heated, pass it off to the elder. There would be a beautiful opportunity for sisters out there, for them to train at an early age, to give them some sort of education, career within the organization. If you don't want people to have higher learning outside of the organization, have higher learning in the organization besides just Bethel. With Bethel, they're not really learning anything anyway. Train Bethelites. It doesn't have to be sisters, men and women. Train the elders, train the ministerial servants. When you would have some sort of counseling for young people who are going through things. That's one of the things that I didn't like about the Jehovah's Witnesses organization. One thing, a big complaint that I had, is like they weren't really helping people. Telling people to read the Bible, go out in the service more is not helping people. People, you got a bunch of people on antidepressants, that's not helping people. It's not helping nobody. Training people. Bring in certified counselors. And like I said, there's plenty of training programs. They don't have to be a clinical psychologist. They can just train enough for 2 years, get them enough to get the credits and associates to be this associate in some sort of counseling. Or again, start your own training program. I know a lot of churches that have their own in-house training programs and really help people. Like I said, I really would like to see sisters having something to do. And there are a lot of sisters out there that want to help. There are a lot of sisters out there that's been abused that would love to help and talk to these young people. Even just talking to young people, period. A lot of times you don't want to talk to your friends. You don't want to talk to your parents. You don't want to talk to some 60, 70-year-old elder. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to. And somebody around your age. Like I said, I know as a woman, you don't want to talk about woman things a lot of times to your mom, your best friends. It's like sometimes you like, I wish I could talk to somebody anonymously. And it's just, you just need, sometimes you really do need counseling. And then they don't encourage you to get outside counseling. So, I don't understand it. This would be a great opportunity for the organization to weed out these people, keep membership, have great PR, eliminate or mitigate these lawsuits, stop these countries from investigating you. To me, it's a win-win situation, people. It's a win-win. But they won't do that. They just dig deep, dig down, and like, no, we want to handle it in-house. Who is advising this? I understand there's a legal department. Whoever runs the legal department, you're fools. Whoever's in the PR department, you're fools. This would be, I can't be the only person that suggested this. I'm sure there's somebody in the organization going, you know what? We should just skip all of this and say we're helping the kids and we need to rewrite that little old elder book and just get rid of these people. Get rid of these people. But they won't. And I just, like I said, being reproach on Jehovah, this is bringing reproach on Jehovah's name. Are you kidding me? This is not helping anybody or anything. You're losing members because people don't want to deal with child abuse, or if they've been abused and you're not doing anything about it, or you're not telling them to call the police. And then you put in the rule book saying, well, they have the option to call the police. They're more than welcome. But then the whole congregation gonna look at you some type of way because you're involving the outside world. You can nip it in the bud. Let the outside world handle it. And like I said, Jehovah's Witnesses will believe that carrot is a part of the devil. You can dig up some Bible verse right now and say carrots are a damn evil. And Satan, the devil, said that we can't eat no more carrots. And Jehovah's Witnesses will be like, no more carrots. Throw that shit out. Throw it out. Get them cans. Get them cans. Don't throw them carrots. No, not them carrots. We ain't no carrots. Put them carrots down. I said put the carrots down, David. You can say anything. You can new light anything. And then they would be like, okay, cool. You can say anything. Okay, we would dig up some Bible verses about something and then make it into something else. Y'all do that about everything else. So why can't y'all do that about protecting children? But now we're worried about bringing reproach on Jehovah's name. New light that shit. New light it. Bam, new light. We got new light. Like I said, they new light everything else. Anything else, they come up with a Bible verse. Even the blood thing, talking about you're not supposed to eat blood and ingest blood. And they like, well, that applies to blood transfusions, even though that technology didn't exist hundreds of years ago. But people believe it anyway. Jehovah's Witness people, if they believe in the religion, they have a faith in religion, you could tell them anything and they'll believe it. So just tell them if you're a child abuser, you got to go. Sorry, you got to go. No, we don't want you going door to door. You got to go. And then the fact that you don't care about the other kids that this person may be molesting, who are non-witnesses, that's cold. Like, that's cold. That's cold. But then you want to bring people to the religion. You can bring people to the religion. You can catch more, what does it say? You can catch more flies with honey and vinegar? You can. And like I said, the question still stands. How many people out there would still be in this organization if you weren't done dirty? How many of y'all would still be in the organization? I promise you, there's a lot of y'all are shaking your heads going, I would still be there with my family. I wouldn't be shunned. I wouldn't be going through this. If somebody would have just listened to me, if somebody would have just loved me and cared for me, if somebody wouldn't have covered for the abuser, if I didn't have to sit across the damn Kingdom Hall from this person who hurt me, and I got to suck it up and be like, well, you just need to trust in Jehovah and just pray and forget about it. What if somebody took your hand and said, it's going to be okay. We're going to pray. We're behind you. God loves the innocent. I think that's easy. But, hey, so yeah, go ahead and watch this documentary. Y'all tell me what you think below. And I'm going to calm down a little bit because it got me riled up. It got me thinking. And I'm offering solutions, I just, to me, some of the stuff that Jehovah's Witnesses do and Watchtower do, it's just unnecessary. And like I said, Jehovah's Witnesses are lovely people. They're lovely people. I'm going to do a video about 5 things I liked about being a Jehovah's Witnesses and 5 things I didn't. And you'd be surprised. Me being a Jehovah's Witness, there was more than 5 things that I liked about it. Then there were some things I did not like about it. I think that should have been changed decades ago, but they won't. But again, I'm not Christian, but I just give suggestions, and I just don't want people, I just hate to see kids suffering. I hate to see kids hurt. I'm a parent. It just hurts my heart. Just to hear people tell them, I'm an empath, so I see people crying and I want to cry. Kelly O'Donnell was crying, I was crying. She was talking about being locked in a room. I felt myself being locked in there with peeing out the window in a little bit. I feel things very deeply when people tell me things, and I see the look in their eyes, and I can see the desperation and the heartbreak, and it breaks my heart because I don't like to see children suffer. I think childhood should be full of puppy dogs and kitties and alive kitties. And it should be full of joy and, not heartbreak, not disillusionment, because it affects you for your whole life. And then I tell people, how well adjusted do you think a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses and congregations are if people have been abused and they in turn are having children? A lot of people who get abused and abusing, and then a lot of people who have had a horrific abuse, even little abuse, it affects how you are able to be a parent. It affects how you deal with other people. So if you have people being abused and they're not coming forward and saying anything, and they in turn are having children, they in turn are interacting with people, they're leading congregations, they're wives, they're mothers, what kind of mental state do you think these people are in who've never got any counseling, never got any help, have buried all of this in their lives? Do you think these are well-adjusted people? And then they're talking about thousands and thousands of cases. So God knows how many people out there are still Jehovah's Witnesses that are living with this, living with the guilt and the shame. And then, like I said, do you think these people are good partners? Do you think these people are good parents? How difficult must it be for them knowing that your parent may have abused you, or that may have been so harsh and mean to you that you don't really know how to love, you don't know how to interact, you need therapy, but you still just keep going on, and you're like passing generation to generation of abuse, generation to generation of, I don't know how to raise my kids, I don't know how to talk to my kids, I did what my mother and my father did, and that they're doing what they were taught, and it just keeps going on and on and on. People talk about generational curses. I don't believe that, but I do believe in generational abuse, generational psychosis. And so you're passing on things that you've learned, and sometimes those things aren't healthy, and you don't even know it's not healthy. So you have a lot of these religious organizations, not picking on the witnesses, a lot of these religious organizations are full of hurt people who are hurt kids. There are people who, and then they want to bag on homosexuals and gay people, when a lot of these people who are homosexual were tampered with and messed with as kids. They were molested as kids, but then somehow it's their fault that they're gay. They were abused as kids, sexually abused by some man. But it's their fault that they're gay. Huh? Like, but you don't want to do nothing to the abusers, but you want to blame the kid that's gay. I don't get that either. But that's for another time, another video. But watch Crusaders. That's all I gotta say. Hoo child, and blood pressure up. I got meetings I gotta go to. Peace out. Y'all have a great day. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. Put things down in the comments. If you've been hurt, if you want to get it off your chest anonymously, that's fine. If you agree with me, disagree with me, current witness, former witness, never witness. And that's about it, y'all. Yeah, I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And I gave you some things to think about. Thank you. Peace.